Hi everybody, it's Diane from SewBatik, and today I want to take you through a project that's new to our website and new to you. It's a new fashion duo, and it is the Butterick 5473. It's a streamlined jacket, vest, and the pattern also includes elastic waist pants. What I'm going to show you today is the vest. And I want to specifically show you how to lay out the fabric, tips that we use when working with our rayon, and how wonderful it's going to look when you're all done. Okay, the first thing I want to show you is that I'm wearing the vest. It's really a fun vest, and it showcases the border batik that we have with our rayon. This is what the fabric looks like before you do anything with it. And many of you have seen this hanging in our booth over the years, and we have it available in, oh my goodness, I would say 12, 13 different color combinations. And basically this is 45-inch wide fabric, selvage over here, selvage over here. And it transitions from a hand-dyed shade through the different motifs, okay? And it just really is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful fabric. Behind me, I'm going to show you a couple more, okay? On our website, you'll also see each one of these garments as a fashion duo. And our fashion duos are a combination of fabric, a pattern, and any of the notions that are needed to complete the project, minus the thread and all the other little accessories like pins and things like that. But the fashion duos are there to give you a little bit of a price break when you're buying all of those things together, the fabric, the pattern, and the accessories. So behind me right here, and this really shows some of the different fabric and the different shades that we have of our border batik as well. The first one I want to show you, and I'm going to hold her up, is the Willow tank dress. And many of you maybe have seen this before, but it's either a tank top or a dress. And we really wanted to showcase the Durum Dreams border batik on this dress. And it transitions, of course, from the neck down to the hem, where this is the selvage, this is the selvage. And this has a little bit of a, not a flounce, but a flange that separates the fabric from the tank and the skirt portion. And it's just a beautiful way to use the border batik. This jacket here is the 8172 Simplicity jacket, and it's a kimono. So there's no sleeve attachment. It's just a simple kimono style with a very, very fun flounce that goes all the way around the jacket. And so again, the selvage that has the hand dye is up on the shoulders, and the hem shows off the detailed border batik. And remember, these are all fashion duos that we have on our website. And the last garment I want to show you is the duster. This is my favorite because it's true indigo, and that's my favorite color. It's blue, and it just has an elegant style to it. And the duster is the Simplicity 8059, and it comes with 2 dresses, 2 length jackets, and slacks. You can't beat the pattern for all of those garments. What's special about this garment is that it does have sleeves, and that we use the fabric to coordinate from the top all the way over to the sleeve. It's a wonderful jacket. Okay, now that I've shown those, I'm going to set all this aside and take you through a couple of things that I do when I first start a project. Number one, you have your fabric, okay? And I take it home and I wash it. We do recommend either of these 2 products, depending on the fabric itself, is Synthropol or Retain. And on our website, we have a section called Care Instructions that you can see really detailed information about how and when to use each one of these products. When in doubt, 99.9% of the time, I am using Synthropol. And it just really gets rid of any excess dyes and wax. It's a soap, so you don't need to use very much. This bottle can last a long time, depending on how much sewing you do with batiks. And this can be used for cotton, jersey, rayon, whatever the base cloth happens to be. Use this, okay? It's a small bottle, it's 4 ounces, and I think on our website it's $3 or something like that. And we do have a set where you can buy both of these together. The other thing I make sure that I have when working with rayon is the top stitch needles. We have various versions on our website, and the one that I really like to use is an 80-12. When I do piecing on cotton, I use a smaller needle with the batiks, but this one I think I really love the 80-12s. So have those on hand. I use either pins or pattern weights when I lay out my pattern pieces to secure the pattern on the fabric before I cut it out. So make sure you have that, and a tape measure. And also this particular project, I want to tell you a little bit about some interfacing. This project, that the new fashion duo that we have for this vest, it requires lightweight interfacing to all down the front of the vest and around the collar. I strongly recommend, 100% polyester. This is a fusible sheer weight interfacing, and this one just happens to be by Bossel, and it's called NV Silk, and it is just a paper. I mean, it's just light and thin, and you feel like there's barely anything there. But when you're working with our rayon, I have to say you don't want very much interfacing on it, because the weight of a heavyweight interfacing will pull the fabric down, and we don't want that. We want something that just gives it a little bit of stability so that it stands upright and it feels comfortable and it's washable and it doesn't look like it's pulling your fabric. So just keep it as light as possible. And we have this available in white and in black. Okay, those are my accessories. So next, what we're gonna do is figure out how to lay out this pattern. The one thing that I do to help myself out a little bit is I first take a look at each one of the pattern pieces and figure out which ones are on the fold, and make it a little bit easier for me to work with my fabric when I'm laying it out and trying to decide how much fabric do I need to have on the fold, making sure I have enough, and where I'm going to place it. So I actually do take my tape measure for anything that's on the fold, and for this vest, the only thing that is on the fold is the center back of the top piece and the bottom piece. And the widest portion of those is going to be the bottom portion at the hem. So when I measure that for my size, it's like 13.5 inches. And the top of that, of course, is going to be smaller, and that is going to be 10.5 inches. Remember those, okay? So with the border batik, we're going to lay this out, as you can expect, a little bit differently, because we're using the full width of the fabric for the length of the garment. So I'm going to fold this out, and we're going to lay it on your table so that the fold goes across the fabric, and your selvages, we want to make sure your selvage is straight here and at the bottom. And then what I quickly do to make sure I am straight is I just measure across, remembering my longest or widest portion had to be at least 13.5, and it is. I actually have too much. So I want to reduce the amount of that because I don't want to waste any fabric. Okay. there we go. Now, we're going to grab our pattern pieces and lay them on the fold line. There. And here. I'm not as exact as I normally would if I'm going to cut this out for real, but I want you to see how I do this. So the vest top here is the hand-dyed selvage portion. And then I have a seam. And then the rest of the garment goes all the way down to the hem of the garment, which is the bottom of the border batik. I'm matching up the two notches that are here to keep everything in line and straight. And then I'm also making sure that the edge of my garment for my size will match. Okay, so everything kind of squares itself up. And luckily, I was very pleased when I chose this fabric to make this vest because it actually fits within the 45-inch wide fabric perfectly. So it might be a little bit short for I would say a 4XL, but the rest I think will fit within the 45-inch wide. And if you have to reduce anything, you're going to reduce the length of your garment, okay? Or you have to buy twice the fabric. There you go. Next, we're going to lay out the other two pieces, focusing on the front of the garment. And I'm just gonna pull this up, see if you can see that there. And the reason I like to lay these all out at once is because I want to make sure that the motif that goes around the vest lines up all the way around, okay? And you can see on this jacket here that I do the same thing when I'm working with a sleeve. The sleeve on the motif matches from the top of the garment all the way across the sleeve itself. And it looks just really professional that way. It looks really wonderful. So now I'm going to lay these down. There we go. These are the front pieces. I know you can barely see that there. But the goal, again, is to make sure that these seams are going to match up perfectly. And they will. Those are the steps that I go through. Now, of course, you're going to use your pattern weights. And they're wonderful because they keep your fabric flat. They keep your pattern on the fabric and make it very, very easy for you to cut your fabric out. Okay? So if you don't have them, it's a good investment. With the rest of your fabric and your pieces, cut them out the same way. The other two I want to show you, of course, this has a facing. So we want to make sure that the facing piece itself also is going to have matching fabric, both the bottom and the top, because mine matches going all the way around. Okay? The pattern also comes with the bias strips for both armholes to finish those easily. And what they do is they actually instruct you to put the binding on and then sew up your side seam. So it's a very, very, very simple vest to make, and it's really stylish and it's really fun, and it's something that I'm going to really, really enjoy wearing into the fall season. And don't get shocked, I know I'm wearing a turtleneck and it is not yet turtleneck weather, but it really looked great with the vest. So we hope you have a wonderful day and enjoy making this new fashion duo. And it's the Butterick 5473. And enjoy working with our border batik.